This project is a work in progress. It starts off with this login page, and we've got an audio player up here which gives us a brief introduction to what this page is. So let me unplug my headphones really quick so maybe you can hear this.
Log in here with your username and password to enter the site.
Okay, just a little quick 4-second snip of what to do. And you can incorporate multimedia in your web pages. It's nice to have a little bit of pictures, sound. It's also nice to have video, but I didn't incorporate video for this project. The username and password, there's only two possibilities that are hard-coded into here. You either have to put a lowercase u or a lowercase p, or the username has to be Lisa and the password has to be green. And it's case sensitive, so if you put a capital U for username and a capital P for password, you will get an error message. Let's just go with the lowercase, well, let's just show you the error first. There's a capital U, wow, capital U and a capital P, and let's click login, and you get an alert dialog box that says there is an error with your password or username, please try again. An alert dialog box only gives the user one option, and that's an OK button to get out of that pop-up. Now, what I need to do is I need to, after I click that OK button to make that pop-up go away, I need code in here to clear this out so that the user doesn't have to manually highlight and backspace. So that's a work in progress as well. It's not in this particular video. Let's go with the correct lowercase u and lowercase p and log in. And now we were given permission to go to the landing page. And my landing page I named landingpage.html. So in the landing page is very simple. Again, we've got a couple images to the left and the right of this bar across the top. We've got 12 links that will open up a page that represents a month in a new tab. And then there's a little message here that just says welcome, that in future coding improvements this message will probably say something based on the date and time. But I'm not there yet. Let's look at January. Let's click January. So as you can see, it opens in a new tab. I've got 3 buttons here, one called List Bills, one called Save, and one called Remove. And each of these buttons on click event calls a different function. The rent, AEP, car, and all the rest of these bills in light gray are created in the HTML file itself. They're created in this jan.html file. I have a table which houses table rows and text areas, and text areas that have content for their placeholder, you can see rent, car, AEP, and so on and so forth. So those are text areas placeholders, hard-coded again into the HTML file itself. If you want to save something about rent into local storage, you have to type something, and you have to overtype rent. So if you say rent $600 paid, and then you click the save button, which calls a function to save this into local storage, the save turns into saved green, and then after 2 seconds it goes back to yellow save, and then we get a background color of lime here, or light green, I think it's light green, saving the value that I typed in here. Now if I refresh this page, we don't lose the information, and if I close out of the page and come back here next month, it's still saved. The code we'll go over later. Right now I'm just giving you an overview of what I've got going on for my project so far. If I click remove, anything that I've saved, which will have a light green background as well as whatever it is I typed, it will go away. So we have an alert prompt that says this will delete the entire grid. Do you really want to delete everything? I'm sorry, this is a confirm dialog, not an alert. The alert only gives you an OK button. The confirm dialog gives you a choice. You can say OK or you can say cancel. If you cancel, an alert comes up that says OK, nothing's deleted, with your single button to OK and click out of this. If you hit remove again, this will delete the entire grid. Do you really want to delete everything? Now we're going to choose OK. We do. So watch what happens. The remove turns it into removed with a light green background. We get an alert that pops up that says all deleted. We click OK and watch what happens. The removed turns back yellow again with the word remove, and then we get our original text area that just says rent. Now again, remember, in this jan.html web page, we hard-coded in placeholders all of these bill reminders. I have this list bills button, which is going to use JavaScript. So in our external JavaScript file, JavaScript is going to list what the bills are and where they're going to go. And so I'm going to click that and show you. It's going to erase everything that you see here and replace it with what I want. So first we get listed, and it's green. It goes from list to listed. Then we get this alert that says list bills here. Click OK. And list bills turns back to yellow. It says list bills instead of listed. And we have something different. And I've actually used some else if statements in JavaScript to fill up this text area if it belongs to this particular ID. Because when you create key value pairs and IDs, JavaScript manipulates your element based on its ID. So this is the reminder, and this is temporary, because once we type stuff into this temporary thing, let's say rent paid, and that's all we put, rent paid. And let's say this says nada. We put nothing special except nada. This is all based on an else block. If it wasn't this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one, then else a message is going to be equal to the word nada. Instead of having nada in all of these, we could say message is equal to an empty string, and don't put the word nada, and these will all be blank text areas, which will look nicer than what we've got it right now. But when we get into the code, you'll see. So let's say here we're going to have happy birthday somebody. I'm sure it's somebody's birthday. Let's hit save. Saved, light green, saved these two, light green background, and notice that all that stuff that was in red that JavaScript created, we are now at the default web page, the jan.html, without the JavaScript interaction that pushing this list bills prompted when it executed that function. So it does not matter. Let me remove this. It does not matter if you hard code your bill reminders or whatever reminders you want to put on your calendar into your HTML file, or if you use a JavaScript to plant them by clicking this button. Does not matter. The save and remove for local storage will work the same way. These are just two different ways to do the same thing. Alright, my landing page, to go back to that, as you can see, February opens up, and go back to the landing page, March opens up, and April, and so on and so forth. December. You can see everywhere that's got the light green background, this is stuff that I've previously saved. And when I was first doing this project, I had a problem with all of these individual months syncing with each other. So if I typed something in July, let's see, July 4th, if I were to say Happy Independence Day, I don't even know if I spelled that right, for July 4th, and I saved it, then I went to my landing page and looked up June, it would say Happy Independence Day on the 4th for June, and it would sync it across everything. And that was awful, so I really had to change my coding. I don't have that problem now. As you can see, we've got exclusive local storage saving now. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else. That thing that I did with January, the 2 different options of saving what you want to save on your calendar, whether it be hard coding it into your HTML file or using JavaScript in an external file and creating it that way. I only did that in January. So once we go over the code, you can implement it in all your calendars if you feel like it, or you can just do the save and remove button and don't even worry about using JavaScript. It's just basically coding practice. And it's not the most optimized system. Some things are optimized and some things aren't. And as I get better at coding, my videos will be better code. Right now it's a work in progress. So let's get out of all of this. I showed you how it all worked. So I'm going to close up this video, and in the next video we're just going to go over only the login page and its accompanying style sheet and JavaScript page that make it all work.